Hello and welcome back to Hunts and Bunks. It's been a long time and we're going to be back with more consistent videos, I promise. But what a time to come back when Jurgen Klopp has just announced at the end of the season he's going to be leaving Liverpool. What are your initial thoughts, Alex?
Crazy. I mean, it's just so out of the blue. And they announced that he'd said that he wanted to leave and announced it to the club in November. So it always interests me when they leave such a big gap between the initial decision and making it clear to everyone because I don't know, maybe I'm starting to wonder maybe it's a sort of tactical thing. Maybe I think coming up to the latter stages of the season, maybe it'll give the players a boost to sort of like, this is the last dance. We've all got to really
Yeah.
all do it for him, sort of thing. Because I'm pretty sure Pep did a similar thing when he was at Bayern. He announced it early in the season, but then they decided to make it public in like I think it was March towards the end of the season. So I do, but yeah, just
Equally though,
really out of the blue.
it's not always it doesn't always work like that. So Wenger, when he announced he was leaving, I think it was 4 months prior. The results didn't really have a full upturn. Alex Ferguson in 2000 tried to pretend that he was retiring at the end of the season. 2002, Arsenal won that trophy. United came third. So there's mixed results there, but my initial reaction, I'm not going to lie, is a bit of bittersweet sadness, to be fair. I mean, from an Arsenal perspective and a Premier League perspective, well, not a Premier League perspective, but an Arsenal perspective at least, I've got to be confident because he's leaving. It's going to be hopefully less competitive for the title, but then that also means that can City just dominate, maybe. But from a league perspective and sort of growing up, obviously he's been at Liverpool since 2015. It is sad because he's such a big character. And I know he obviously has moments where he moans or whatever, but that's part of him.
Yeah,
Where do you think he ranks in managers in the Premier League era?
in the Premier League era. All right. For starters, I'm going to make it clear that a good proportion of the Premier League era happened when I was not alive.
Well,
I
yeah.
just want to get that out there. So take my comments with a pinch of salt. But oh, from what I've seen, from managers I've seen, he's in top three. He's top three managers
Hmm. Oh, that's
from the ones I've seen. From the ones I've seen.
okay.
So I've got Pep, Klopp, and Sir Alex.
Oh, that's very punchy. I'd have him fourth.
But that's from ones I've seen.
So the
who's
top is Pep. Second is Alex. Third is
yeah.
Wenger. Fourth
Wenger? Oh my God! Right?
is Mourinho.
Yeah.
Because,
No,
hear me out,
Wenger. No.
because
Yeah.
Pep and Wenger changed English football in ways that Klopp hasn't. So Klopp is a character. He's been competitive. He's been amazing. Don't get me wrong. Great manager. But Pep's changed the way the football's played within England for a start.
Yeah.
And Wenger changed how football operated in England. So Wenger brought in different dietary requirements. My dog's here. Dietary requirements, and also he changed the drinking culture around the country as a whole. Um, he was the first foreign manager, if I'm not mistaken, in England. Um, and obviously his achievement of Invincibles, as much
Yeah.
as Klopp has been fantastic, which he has, and he's put up a big fight. He's not been in a dominant era for Liverpool. It's been City's dominant era, and
Yeah.
Liverpool are the maybe men. And yes, they've won it once. They've won one Champions League. They've got to three Champions League finals in that time and lost two of them. They've had a Europa League final loss. So, and that's not taken away from Klopp. Tremendous job he's done. Amazing. He's brought Liverpool from where they were, which was a not middle league, but a Europa League sort of standard team. He's brought them to the top on the precipice of English football. He's won the Champions League. Can't slate his development of players, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andy Robertson, etc. But his lasting impact on the English game is going to be less than Pep's. It's going to be less than Wenger's.
Yeah.
And it's less than Sir Alex because of the longevity of Sir Alex and the siege. I mean, in many ways, Sir Alex is very much like Pep in terms of its siege mentality. It's the club versus the world. So that I do understand. But yeah, so I think that it would be a case of
Wenger. I can't lie to you. Even though you mentioned Wenger 2 seconds before, I completely forgot about considering him. Yeah, I mean it's difficult because when Wenger was at his best with Arsenal was a period which I haven't seen.
yeah,
So that's my difficulty with it because I completely get what you're saying about how he's in terms of the Premier League, they've only won one, but they've got 92. They've got 92 and 97 points in two separate seasons and not won it. So it's one of those. I know, obviously, if you don't win it, nobody. It's all about the winner. That's the point. But
so Wenger is very much like not in terms of style or anything like that, but if you look at the actual time frame, Wenger came around when United were dominant, and Wenger was they were the people to topple United, so to speak. And they won three Premier Leagues in for 7 years at the club, or 6 years, I think it was. Also the Champions League final, 2006, which was a screw job. But anyway, besides the point, Klopp is very much the same in fact that this is a City era of dominance, and he's fighting against the juggernaut that is City. The same with Mourinho. Really, he was fighting against a juggernaut that was United, especially in his first spell, and also Arsenal. So I think, yeah, for lasting impact and overall Premier League manager, I think he's fourth personally. But in terms of Liverpool managers, I think he's probably the best ever. And I think he is a phenomenal advocate for the game anyway. His passion is amazing. The way he manages is amazing. He always conducts himself really well in like the personal one-to-one interviews. Obviously, he can be a bit spiky with the press, but he does show a level of class. And the video, I don't know about you, but seeing it, how he said he doesn't want to do it, except don't want to leave, really. It does make me feel there might be some further implications, like health implications there. I'm not sure. Obviously, I don't know. This is just. But when I watched that video, I just thought he's being forced rather than he wants to.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, because it was interesting actually talking about how it feels like his body's giving up on him within the job. Pep was asked yesterday after we beat Spurs in the cup, they was asking, can you relate to the tiredness that he's feeling? And I mean, Pep was only at Barcelona for 3 years, and he felt the exact same thing. It's different scenario. It's just because the amount of scrutiny you're under with the sort of.
Yeah, well, he had to. I don't know if you've watched it, the documentary. Have you watched the documentary, the Pep one on BBC or whatever it was the other day?
Well, I don't think I did actually. I think no.
It's really good to be fair. It's got like players. It's got Lewandowski in it, etc. Talking about him, etc. It had Puyol, for example, was talking about him. And it was saying how he did such a good job, but then he needed a break from football, and obviously he did. And then he went. Then after 6 months of a break, he went to Bayern because he argued in that when Bayern come calling, I can't say no. It's Bayern Munich. It's an opportunity, but I think it is very much similar in terms of I think Klopp might just need a break. Although I do think personally, from watching that video, I've got this really and watching and listening to people online, it is a worry that there could be some further implications on his health at play. I'm hoping it's not. But it did sound sort of like he was about to retire as well.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. But it's a sad day for English football, certainly. The league's going to be worse without him. Liverpool hopefully will be worse without him, but it's still sad when such a big character leaves the game.
There's a question mark as well for me. This would be a massive issue for Liverpool in my eyes. Is whether obviously Salah was linked last.
Salah's gone. Right? Salah will be gone in the summer.
He was being linked with going. So to potentially lose him and Klopp in the same sort of going into the same season. I mean, I'm sure they'd get tons for Salah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it was 150 million was the rumored fee from one of the Saudi clubs, but it's not almost the money is not the relevance. It's the losing the best player and the manager for this massive. It's like the end of almost the end of a sort of era of Liverpool And
Yeah,
part to do with this era of the Premier League, this sort of Man City Liverpool dominance, that's what's the sort of melancholic feeling for me. Because it feels like it's now the end of that period
it's
of.
keeping my boys to rise. Take that.
Oh,
We
there might be a complete change. I mean, if we get relegated, it'll be probably you and I don't
Spurs.
know, Spurs. I mean, flipping heck, it might be North London's
Oh,
time to show.
oh, and then we'd still come third. Nah, no, I do think it's sad, and I do think that he will be missed. What next for Liverpool though? Because the main rumours Xabi Alonso, but I think if he's just won the Bundesliga, and I know he's got his ties with obviously he might not win it yet, but he's got his ties with Liverpool, and that makes sense. But surely Real Madrid will be sniffing around saying like, when Ancelotti leaves, I want
Yeah,
to, we'll sign a deal now so that next year you become our manager, and that is a possibility. And surely, as Xabi Alonso has always said, I know he loves Liverpool, but he's always said Real Madrid's his club.
yeah,
Surely he will have that in the back of his mind. So then you're looking at other alternatives, and I was thinking about this the other day. Well, yesterday, because we've only had 2 days to think about it. And I think the De Zerbi, which would be a great shout. I actually think Graham Potter would be brilliant. My other two is Nagelsmann, and finally, this was the one that I thought about it, and I think makes the most sense. Unai Emery. So he
yeah,
doesn't. He was shocking at Arsenal. Don't get me wrong.
yeah,
But a lot of Arsenal was the fact that the fans went toxic after 6 months. So that undermined him, and then the players were toxic anyway. So the players then took the mick out of him, which then the players didn't play for him. So he lost the dressing room. At Liverpool, that manager position nowadays, obviously back in Roy Hodgson's day, it was a bit different, but it's going to be very hard to go toxic against. I think you get the full support of the fans no matter what,
yeah,
because they live and breathe the football to the point where they would die for their own club. And
yeah,
but it's such a chasm of like support at Liverpool that I think that Unai Emery would just be backed fully to the hilt, and I think he would be probably in this moment in time the most qualified man for the job, because I think Xabi Alonso has only been in management for 3 years now. So I do
yeah.
think Unai Emery would probably be the best shout.
Yeah, I completely agree. I really do not see him leaving Villa because I think at Villa their support is complete. They're massively in favour of Emery.
Yeah, but
I
he never was going to leave Sevilla, was he? And then he did. So like, it's one of them. And
It's just
Valencia.
because it's within the same league. It's within the Premier League. I like the Nagelsmann. I do like the Nagelsmann shout because I think there are slight similarities in the play that he's had at Leipzig with the sort of counter pressing, the style of football that he was using there.
I just don't know, because he's German manager. Is he going to do that?
Yeah,
So
De Zerbi's interesting.
Potter, can
De
we
Zerbi's
just discuss Potter just a
Potter.
second?
Okay.
Potter is an absolutely phenomenal manager.
He was great at Brighton. He was very good at
And
Brighton.
at Chelsea, he was absolutely screwed over.
Yeah. Well, Chelsea is just it's almost a lose-lose situation if you go into Chelsea at the
Well,
moment.
they bought him too many players to the point they had to train
Yeah.
outside of the club. Like, that's not something that he would have done, and that's not his fault per se. So I don't know how
Yeah.
he could be possibly blamed for that. And I don't think that can be held against him as the manager for future opportunities. Personally.
Yes, but when you've named some of the other ones you've named, I think there are more.
Well, Nagelsmann ain't gonna go because of Germany, right?
Oh, is he the? He's the German national team
Yeah,
boss,
yeah.
isn't he? Right. Okay.
Right.
No. Yeah.
So then you've got Xabi Alonso. I think it might be a year too soon. Um,
Yeah. I don't know. The only thing with that, one thing I will say, so I don't think that always is the case because the manager at manager I forgot his name now. The manager was at Napoli last year. They won the league, and
Spalletti or whatever his name is.
something like that. Yeah, he left straight after that season. I don't know. I think there are cases where that does happen, and sometimes if you've won the league, especially in the manner of which it would be for Bayer Leverkusen.
Yeah, but he didn't leave. He didn't he didn't leave because to join another job, did he?
Yeah, no, he didn't. He didn't. Yeah, I just think with the manner in which it would be for Leverkusen, winning the league and not at the start of the season not really being a contender, I think it would be the perfect time for him to leave and join Liverpool because he's already massively overperformed at Leverkusen, set the foundations for them, and then now he can jump ship and he's already proven himself with
Signing Granit Xhaka to Liverpool next year.
that would imagine.
Right. Anyway, I think that is Jurgen Klopp covered.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Unbelievable, just so out of the blue. It's one of those where you just. What? When was it? Was it Thursday when the? Oh, was it yesterday?
Yeah, Friday. It's mad.
Yeah.
It is mad. It's good for Arsenal and probably City, but it is mad. It's not good for the end of the season because if there's one club that you want not to go against with the full passion of a fan base, it would be
We've still got Liverpool away. City.
I'm at home in 2 or 3 games. That's going to be fun.
If you could take some points off them there, that would be great.
Well, hopefully they can take some off you. Bish bash bosh. Do a trade. But yeah. All right. Well, that's all. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more from us. There will be more, I promise. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.